Hey, welcome back to the channel, and today we're actually going to do something really quick, really easy that might help a couple of you out. Now, we just got back from vacation. Well, we had one heck of a welcome home party. Yeah, everything's broke. Refrigerator, not working anymore. Weed eater, yeah, broke right off. Okay, got a part off for that one. Yeah, it's right here. I'm going to do that a little bit later, but that's just a simple little screwed on there. I went up there and borrowed one from a neighbor. Yep, it's over here. Nice steel. Yeah, broke. Not working. Got to fix that too. But then I go up there and just going to blow everything off. And the blower broke. All right. Now, when I say it broke, it will sit there and run, but it runs for about a minute or so, then it just dies out. Now, more than likely what it is something in the carburetor that is making it flood. And that's not a good thing. So if you look out there for a rebuild kit, it is just as cheap as to go out and buy a new carburetor. So that's what we're actually going to do today. I got my carburetor, just came in today. Basically, we're going to take one off, put the other one on. It should be already adjusted. If it's not, we're going to adjust it, and then we're going to get our blower running once again. Because got to make our yard look nice. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to open this guy up, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so this is a Toro little handheld blower. It is nothing special. But we're going to tear it apart. And maybe put a fan on because it is hot up in here. All right, so we just took our little cover off. Bow. And it is covered with fuel, so it definitely needs to have a little attention. Now this right here is actually just your filter. So we're going to clean this off and actually put a little bit of oil on it and kind of go with that. Now, if you look at this thing is nasty. So before you actually take anything apart, because you don't want to have any of this dirt actually get into the system, we're going to take our compressed air and just blow it out. First, put your choke on so that this will block out some of the stuff. And I'm going to pull you away because this is going to get nasty. Nice. All right, let's see what's in our box. I didn't even open it yet. All right, so this is everything that comes with the kit. Now, granted, this is only like 20 bucks. So you have a new filter, which seen better days. It's a little squished. You have two gaskets, one for the inside, one for the outside. So keep that in mind. You have a new spark plug, which you can always use that. Now you have a new filter that goes inside the tank. Now you can use that or you don't need to use it, but you can if you like. You have new fuel line. Both of them. You got the return plus the regular. You got a new plunger button. So if this little button right here actually goes out, boom, you got yourself another plunger button. What else we got here? Okay. So you also have all the way up to your trigger. You have a new ring and retainer that you can use. But yeah, here's the big daddy. This is the reason why you really get the kit. So this is a new carburetor. Now before you take anything apart, always look at your old one and your new one and make sure that they match. And it looks like they do. All right, so some of the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a T25, so this will take those off. And then you're also going to need a pair of pliers. All right, grab yourself a needle nose pliers. What you're going to use these for are all your fuel lines. So you're going to make a mess. Go ahead and make a mess. It'll be fine. Wow. Okay, so it looks like you need to take this whole cover off just to get the outer piece off. Okay, so next thing you do, take off your cover. Is it a T25? Indeed it is. All right, well that was a pain in the butt. So you got a screw, and a screw down here at the bottom. Now that's not it, because this little tab right here is what was giving me the problem. So this right here was actually fit right in there pretty snug. So there's not a screw, there's a little tab. So I was always afraid I was gonna break it, but I didn't break it. So we're in good shape. All right. So I already have my two screws out of my carburetor area. Now you're going to actually be able to, in theory, take this off. All right, so physically remove both of your big screws, and that should be able to have everything fall apart on you. Now, also go ahead and unscrew your throttle cable. You just kind of, I guess you don't need to, but I took it off just so it will be out of the way. Now, if you lean this over, I still have fuel in here, all the fuel is going to come out. We don't want that. There we go. All right, so there's your little push button here. We're going to go ahead and replace that. So you have in and you have out. You have two little lines coming off your carburetor, one coming off your fuel. So the long one will go through the fuel, the big knob, and the small one going to your carburetor will go off the little knob. All right, so in order to get that off, put your needle nose in. Bam, comes right out. So there's the old one. Here's the new one, looking pretty. And it should just snap right into place, just like that. It's not gonna snap if you break the new one. Way to go. Pile of crap. All right, I'm putting the old one back on because I just broke that. So go ahead and pull your hoses off because you're gonna have to you don't have to reuse them. You can use new ones. But yeah, there you go. Simple little thing. And the good thing is, it looks exactly like the new one. Bam! All right, so we can just simply install the rest. Now, inspect your lines. This thing's got some age on it. So if you're gonna need to replace the lines, replace the lines. Anyway, it does come with new fuel line. Put in new fuel line if you like. You got enough for both sides. And don't forget your filter inside your tank. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of time. So I'm just gonna replace this guy. All right, very important. Replace your gasket and make sure all of it is off. If you have anything left on it, it's not gonna seal and you're never gonna run right. All right. Go to my gasket pile. Find out which one fits. So here's my new gasket. Put my gasket on. Put my carburetor back on. All right. So now that you have everything ready, go ahead and hook up your fuel line. All right. All right. So basically all I did with that one is I just pulled it out just a little bit because my fuel lines are still in pretty decent shape. The little part that I just actually took off was it was just wallered out a little bit too much for my liking, so I just clipped it off. Now we can reuse this. Now you can plug your little tiny hose. Just make sure it is still in good shape. There you go. Now ideally you should be replacing all your lines. I don't have that kind of time, unfortunately. So, yeah, not doing it. All right, so you got another gasket right here. Make sure this gets pulled off. All right, so grab yourself a scraper. Like I said, make sure all the gasket is pulled off. All right, so we got a new gasket. Make sure you use it. Make sure that you are plugging in your push prime button. One down. Two. You're gonna have your big long screws. Hopefully you can see this. Anyway, it's gonna go through one. Grab your gasket. Make sure that's on there tight. Go through the carburetor. Go ahead and put your second screw in. Make sure the gasket is on there. Now go through your carburetor. Alright, so as you can see, we have outside, gasket, carburetor, gasket, which is right here. I'm going to put that on there, and then you screw it into the side. Also, make sure your lines are still on, because if they fall off, guess what you're doing? Turn it back off again. Gaskets are in, choke is working. Push button's still working. Yay! All right, go ahead and put your throttle cable back on. All right, so you have your little flap, which is going to go down. You have your little bit of a plastic, which goes in there. And then you have your little knob that you put in your throttle. Go ahead and route your little cable all the way around and make sure that this right here is actually in place. Because if you don't, it's not going to work. Bam! Now put your screw back in, and you're golden. All right, so we're good there. Now basically we're just putting everything back together. All right, so we have our carburetor on, gaskets in, all the fuel lines are in. They look great. They're not leaking yet. So now let's just put the cover back on. Our air filter. Okay, this is a clean one. All right, one thing I do like to do is actually oil it up. So this is just oil in a can. You don't need a lot. You just want to spray it down a little bit, or you can use regular motor oil. You can use whatever, just to make sure that it is damp. You don't want it wet, you want it damp. Now, all right, so that's not in there right nicely. We're going to take our outside cover, figure out which way it goes on. There we go. All right, so that part is done. But now, I'm going to put my other cover back on because I don't feel like chopping up my fingers. All right, you don't need to take this section off just to change the carburetor. I took it off because it was going to lay flat a little bit better. And I had a screwdriver in my hand, so I take things apart. But you do not need to do this. At least not this part. All right, we got everything put back together. It's almost ready to start. Not quite. Because we want to go ahead and change out this spark plug since it came with one. Doesn't look too bad. Now you can see I was having carburetor issues because if you look at the tip, it is really white. Because that usually means it's running lean. Either your mixture's wrong or you don't have enough fuel. I like to have fuel. All right, put everything back together. Get all the covers on there, safety, no leaking. All right, so good to go. Almost brand new. Doesn't really blow a lot, but hey, it's all right. So I bought this back in 2014. I know that because it's on the label, and I just gave it new life for about 20 bucks. So either that or go buy yourself a new one for a bunch of hundreds of dollars. Anyway, go out there and fix it yourself. If you like any of these videos, please tune in for all the other ones. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everything that all us YouTubers actually try to tell you. Anyway, take it easy, have fun, and get out there and fix your own stuff. It's easy.